What's going on, Swiper Gang? I'm SwipaCam, and welcome back to another episode. I'm recording this video as the trade deadline is about to expire, and boy, oh boy, has it been a day. Has it been a day. Just right now, Victor Oladipo is getting shipped to the Miami Heat after a year of speculation. Andre Drummond, is he about to get bought out? Does he go to the Nets? Does he go to the Lakers? Kyle Lowry, surprisingly, looks like he's about to stay with the Toronto Raptors, even after the LA Lakers put up a package, but they didn't want to give Horton Tucker away. Y'all, there's been some crazy stuff happening today, but in this episode, we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets. What went into the decision? What are the lineups going to look like? And where do we go from here? Y'all, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the logo, hit the like button, hit that share button, share it in the Discord, in the Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter. We building this community every single day. So, the Denver Nuggets have been looking for a wing player for years now. The Denver Nuggets, ever since Wilson Chandler went away, they've been looking for somebody that can guard the 6'8" LeBrons, the 6'8" Kawhi Leonards, the Paul Georges of the world. And they thought they found one when they traded a first-round pick for Jeremy Grant. But Jeremy Grant, he wanted to go play for the only black head coach, black GM combo in the NBA. He wanted to get a larger offensive role, and he got it. He's averaging 23 points per game right now with the Detroit Pistons. The Nuggets lost out. All year, we've been speculating. If you've been on this channel, you've heard me say that the Denver Nuggets need somebody to fill in that gap because they got a point guard, they got MPJ, they got Jokic, but they don't have two things. They don't have rim protection, and they don't have a wing player, and we got both of them today. First trade. The first trade, the Denver Nuggets decide to bring back JaVale McGee. Now, if you weren't a part of Nuggets family back in the day, when JaVale McGee first got to the Nuggets, you talking about high flyer, dunk contest trying JaVale McGee, blocking shots, snatching them out of the air. He was crucial on the team that was the third seed that went up against the early version of the Golden State Warriors in 13 playoffs. And so, man, JaVale's been around a long time, but he is an elite athlete. The dude is averaging like almost 4 blocks per 36. The Denver Nuggets have the worst percentage in the NBA in points allowed at the rim. They're keeping the teams out of the paint for the most part, but when they get to the paint, there's nobody stopping them. And again, in order to get that trade, the Denver Nuggets had to send 2 conditional second-round picks and also Isaiah Hartenstein out to get JaVale McGee. Now, here's the thing. I said before the season started that if I'm the Denver Nuggets, I watch what happened in the Lakers series. I'm going to get Dwight Howard. I'm going to get JaVale McGee. I'm going to get Nerlens Noel. I'm going to get somebody who's wildly athletic, who can be a rim runner, but also can be a shot blocker, because that's what Jokic needs behind him. Mason Plumlee did that pretty well. He could also pass and other things, but really you needed somebody that can make up for his shortcomings. And his only shortcomings as a player is that he just can't jump. Nikola Jokic shortcomings, at least. So now this is where we are. The Denver Nuggets have acquired JaVale McGee. They have acquired a rim protector. I realized that Isaiah Hartenstein was not a fan favorite for many reasons. He was basically leading the league in fouls per 36. I know some of you all liked him a lot, but Isaiah is 22 years old. He's too young, too sporadic. He didn't fit what the Denver Nuggets were looking for in a backup, dependable 5. He just wasn't it. That's not what they were looking for. They needed somebody who could be a veteran, championship experience, a winning personality, understood the game, also somebody that could guard the paint. And honestly, one of my favorite things about this potential is JaVale McGee can potentially play with Nikola Jokic. Think about this, and we're going to talk about this later too, but especially when they go to that 2-3 zone on defense, can you imagine having JaVale McGee, Nikola Jokic, and then again another wing player, MPJ, and also having Jamal Murray in the game? We'll talk about it in a minute, but there's so many endless possibilities. So I really think that JaVale McGee signing is crucial. You give him an athletic backup center who knows the game, understands the game, who can deflect shots, play backside defense. He's long, he's rangy. That's what you need. You need talent when you're trying to build an NBA championship roster. The more talent you can have, the more athleticism you can have, as well as basketball IQ and Jokic and Murray, then you're going to be good to go. So again, we're sorry to see Isaiah Hartenstein go. I know he wasn't really with us for long enough for us to grow an affection for him, but we appreciate him being in Denver. Again, it didn't work out. Isaiah just was not ready for that position. That's why he wasn't getting any playing time for the most part, or coming in and out of the lineup sporadically. So JaVale McGee comes in, gives us a nice backup option at center. Now we moving on. Y'all, traded today. I posted this on Twitter. I said it on Twitter. Right now, you have an MVP player in Nikola Jokic at 26 years old. You got an All-NBA player at 24 in Jamal Murray. And you got an up-and-coming top 10 NBA talent in Michael Porter Jr., who's 22. You don't worry about R.J. Hampton next year, the year after. You can't worry about that. You don't worry about a first-round pick that you may not use in 2025. You can't worry about it. You can't worry about it. Gary Harris, I have loved Gary Harris since he was at Michigan State. I was so glad to see the Nuggets get him in the 14th overall pick traded out for Doug McDermott and then got Gary Harris later on. But, we've had Gary Harris. He's been a part of the Denver Nuggets culture since the Brian Shaw era. He has been an elite two-way player at times. That 2016-17 season, like I said, man, dude averaged basically, or 17-18 season, he averaged 17.5 points a game, like 42% from three-pointer a game. Like, the dude was special. For a while there, he was the Denver Nuggets' second-best player with Yoke. So, mad love to Gary Harris. He's been in the Nugget for 7 years, man. I'll never sleep on Gary Harris. He's been that guy. He's the truth, man. So, again, his dunk package is skipped over a lot because people forget how athletic he is. Like, his layup package is real. Like, Gary Harris helped the Nuggets become a contending team. He was a big reason why the Nuggets have been so successful. So, all love for Gary Harris. Under the comment section, all love for Gary Harris on Twitter. If you got anything to say about Gary Harris, he can't help the injuries. Gary Harris gave you everything he had day in and day out. Jamal Murray loved him. Will Barton loved him. The team loved him. Yoke loved him. Everybody liked Gary. It's just that he couldn't be healthy. He just couldn't get healthy. It's not his fault. And also on top of that, he couldn't find his shot this year for a good portion as well. So, again, we're sad to see him go for many reasons. But as I said, y'all, at this point, when you have a player that's given a top 5, top 10 season ever in NBA history, you can't be all emotional in making your decisions. You can't let your emotions or your attachments overtake your critical thinking and your critical reasoning. And critical thinking says we need to get the best players around Nikola Jokic as possible. We need to get the best players around Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. as possible. And whatever we have to do to enhance their situation, their ability to win a championship, that's what you do. So then we get to Aaron Gordon. So in order to get Aaron Gordon, we had to ship out Gary Harris, R.J. Hampton in the first-round pick. And then on top of that, for Aaron Gordon, we also got Gary Clark, who's going to come back and play guard for the Denver Nuggets. Here's the thing. Aaron Gordon now slots in as a 25-year-old power forward, small forward, really a swing forward position, who you can lock in next to Michael Porter Jr., who you can lock in the starting lineup next to Nikola Jokic, who you can lock in next to Jamal Murray, and then the starting two guard looks like it's going to be Will Barton. So now the Denver Nuggets are out R.J. Hampton, they're out Gary Harris, and so now your guards essentially are Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Facu Campazzo, P.J. Dozier, and then Marcus Howard. That's kind of where you are with your guards. And then Monte Morris, of course. So they're a little thinner at guard, but they still got plenty of them. They still got like 6 guards on the roster, 7 guards on the roster. So the Nuggets are going to be cool there. Now the question will be, is Will Barton going to be able to play perimeter defense like he needs to? Or is that going to be P.J. Dozier? Is Will Barton going to be able to close games? Because Aaron Gordon's going to be closing games now. They wouldn't have traded for him. This is the biggest trade in mid-season trade we've done since the Carmelo Anthony 2009-2010 trade. This is by far the biggest trade the Nuggets have ever done since the Melo trade. You don't do anything this significant for a player like this unless you believe, one, he's going to help you win a championship, and this is somebody you can play late game situations and clutch situations and key situations. You got to, especially somebody that big, that athletic. See, the thing people don't remember about Aaron Gordon is almost 6'9". Aaron Gordon is a huge dude. He's stocky, he's big, he's powerful, and he can shoot. He's shooting almost 40% from the three-pointer this year. When he stands next to Giannis Antetokounmpo, he ain't as tall as Giannis, but he's thicker than Giannis. He's almost as tall, he's thicker, and he's probably just as explosive going up for alley-oops. He's probably not as long, but, man, he's right around there. So if you can get a poor man defensive effort, poor man Giannis Antetokounmpo defensive effort from Aaron Gordon, you won. There's no cutting around it. You won. So now here's where the Nuggets are in their starting lineup. Jamal Murray at point guard, Will Barton at 2, Aaron Gordon at the 3, Michael Porter Jr. at the 4, and then on top of that, you have the MVP at the 5. That is an all-NBA. That is a finals contending starting 5. Cut it any way you want, slice it any way you want. that final five can contend. It can contend. Everybody can score. Everybody can hit three-pointers. Not only now, you got Jamal Murray, who's a creator. You got Will Barton, who's a creator. You got Aaron Gordon, who can create. You got Michael Porter Jr., who definitely can create or just really catch off the shoot, whatever. Shoot off the catch, whatever. And then you got Nikola Jokic, who can create in the post, in the mid-range, and at the three. Now you got essentially 4.5 creators around you. And then now you can stagger the lineups like ways you never have been able to before. Now you can stagger Jamal Murray. Now you can stagger MPJ. Now you can stagger Aaron Gordon. Now when Jokic's not on the court, you can give the ball. You can do pick and rolls. You can do dribble handoffs. You can do cutting. You can do all that stuff. Now you got MPJ and Aaron Gordon cutting to the basket. It changes everything. It changes the game for the Denver Nuggets because now they got insurance policies in terms of depth at the wing position that they haven't had before. And they also get more athletic, longer. And then schematically, this changes everything that the Nuggets can do. Because now when you got JaVale McGee coming off the bench, it changes everything. So, again, first five, Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and then you got Nikola Jokic. Now, then you get, or you can make changes to that, but then you got Monte Morris, P.J. Dozier, and then, you can say, or Facu Campazzo even, then you could say at the three you got P.J. Dozier, and then you can put Zeke Naji in there, slot him in there at the four, and now you got JaVale McGee. But then also now, too, you got to think about it, Paul Millsap and JaMychal Green. Because they're going to the bench. Aaron Gordon's starting. That's easy. He's starting. He might not start the first game of the year, but he's starting. So now what you do is you say, hey, we either want to play really big this game, JaVale McGee comes in, Zeke Naji comes in, or you want to play small and spread the court. And now you got Paul Millsap and you got JaMychal Green. So that changes up a lot of things, man. So now the Nuggets have options. That by itself is 12 players. That's 12 players you can play. Now, the funky thing about it is that you don't have a bunch of, you got Gary Clark who can come in and play the backup two guard now. He can play up there. He can be a tweener. Again, I'm not really super familiar with his game. I know he can shoot. I know he's a decent player. But now, if you have a backup where you can have 7 players coming off the bench, you can mix and match however you need to, game-by-game situation. So it's going to be interesting what they do, but here's what I literally love about what this does. Say the Denver Nuggets decide that they're playing against a team, they want to play a zone. They're playing against the Bucks again, they want to play a big zone. Now, what you can do is Jamal Murray up top, Aaron Gordon up top. You could put Michael Porter Jr. in the wing, Nikola Jokic in the middle, and you could put JaVale McGee out on the wing. Or you can sub it out, put JaVale McGee, take Jokic out, put JaVale McGee in the middle of the lane now. Now he can guard up, he can block, he can get people off the ball, like everything, man. Like now you got so many options in your lineup. There's so much potential to this Denver Nuggets unit now because you've gotten so much more athletic. Schematically, it changes everything. And like I said, Aaron Gordon can shoot. Clark can shoot. So you're still getting that back. Again, you're going to miss Gary Harris' perimeter defense. But you got to be able to ask yourself, does this enhance Nikola Jokic? Does this enhance MPJ? Does this enhance Jamal Murray? I believe it does. So here's the thing. If I'm the Denver Nuggets, what do I do with that two guard? Because I can keep Will Barton there. He can keep giving me 14, 6, and 6, basically. He can keep giving me the shot, the three-pointers. Or do I take Will Barton and put him on the bench? Because what I think is going to have to happen at some point, and now what actually helps, say the Nuggets wanted to go back to that lineup that they were really killing with Jamal Murray, but then instead of starting at the 1, he starts at the 2, and Monte Morris starts at the 1. Now you got Monte Morris, Jamal Murray, you got Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and you got Nikola Jokic. Now you get 4 to 3 inches taller with Aaron Gordon over Will Barton. You get the 40% on the outside, but you get extreme athleticism, backside defense, and on-ball defense against wing players. Jamal Murray can hold his own against most point guards, most two guards, but now you got somebody that can guard wings, and you got Michael Porter Jr., who you can put on the team's 4. Changes everything. The defensive capabilities are better than they've ever been. The ability to make changes defensively, the ability to move, to mix and match, having JaVale McGee come into the game if the Nuggets are struggling as a first-team offense, you need somebody to get in there and block shots to deter people from getting to the rim. JaVale McGee's there, and he's an option. Aaron Gordon is going to change the way that the Nuggets are built from the inside out. They're going to change the way that the team operates, especially now in your transition and your fast break. It's all different. Think about it now. Now, when Nikola Jokic has the ball, the opposing defense is going to have to make a decision. Do I come off of Jamal Murray and help? Do I come off of Aaron Gordon and help? Do I come off of Michael Porter Jr. and help? Do I come off of Will Barton? Or do I come off of Gary Clark? Do I come off PJ Dozier? Now, those last three are going to be your more likely option, but here's the thing. It makes the decision that much more difficult. It makes it that much more difficult. Because now you got to decide, okay, like, what do we do from here? Do we let Jokic just cook and hit us for 45, 50 points? Or do you let him get 18 assists in the game? So, again, this is going to make Jokic's life so much easier now that Aaron Gordon is with us. But, y'all, again, I want to reiterate this. The Denver Nuggets, for the first time, have made a major in-season trade that they needed to make. Last year, they missed out on Drew Holiday because they didn't want to give up the assets. But this year, and that asset was Bol Bol. That trade probably could have got done without Bol Bol, with Bol Bol. Now you're in a situation where you can work with Aaron Gordon. You can build out and see what it looks like for the next year and a half. He has a contract that extends till the end of next season. You can see what the fit looks like. You can see how he's buying in schematically. You can see if he knows his place on the team, that you're not going to be the best player on this team. That's Jokic, that's Murray, and that's MPJ, and then it's you. And again, you can figure all that stuff out, and if that works out, man, you got a core four. Now you've gone from having a big three to four players you can build around that anything else. Again, 26 years old in Jokic, 25 years old in Aaron Gordon, 24 years old in Jamal Murray, 22 years old in MPJ. Now your entire team is in this mid to early 20s. That means you're only going to get better and better and better and better and better from this point on. It changes everything for the Denver Nuggets. So JaVale McGee comes in, Clark comes in, Aaron Gordon comes in. Now my question is, what happens to Bol Bol? What happens to Facu Campazzo? Does he get playing time? What happens to Will Barton? What happens to Will Barton? What's his role on the team now? Is he going to be able to serve as a perimeter defender? Is he going to be able to serve as more of a facilitator? Because now not many shots are going to go around. But here's the thing about Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is not just a shooter and a dunker and a defensive player, but he can pass too. Like, Aaron Gordon was not utilized correctly in the Orlando Magic system. But you get him with Michael Malone. You get him around smart players. Man, Aaron Gordon might pop. He might pop. Y'all, if this works out, this means that not just this year, not just next year, but for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons, the Denver Nuggets are contending for a championship at the tier 1 level. Changes everything. The Denver Nuggets said that this is the time we are buying into this year's Nuggets team. We're committed to the process. We're committed to Jokic. We're committed to MPJ. We're committed to Jamal Murray. And we're going to prove it by getting rid of our longest tenured player, getting rid of a first-round pick, and getting rid of an up-and-coming athlete in RJ Hampton. It sucks to see RJ go. It definitely sucks to see Gary Harris go, but that's the nature of basketball. You don't waste elite seasons from the best players in the NBA. You don't do it. And the Nuggets are deciding not to do it. So this is special. Y'all, let me know in the comment section what you're thinking. Let me know what you thought about the trade, what your initial reaction was to the JaVale McGee, to the Aaron Gordon trade. Let me know what else you would like to see happen. Let me know what else is happening. I mean, even right now, the Mavs just got J.J. Redick. Hey, man, there's a bunch of stuff happening right now, y'all. So, look, this is SwipaCam, Swipe a Gang. We out. I'll see y'all soon. By the way, Aaron Gordon and Clark and JaVale McGee, they will not be available for the game tomorrow. They're going to be ready for the next game after that. They cannot play tomorrow, Friday, against the Pelicans, but they may be ready for the Atlanta game. They should get to Denver on Saturday morning. Atlanta comes up on Sunday at 9, so we'll see them in debut then. All right, y'all, this is SwipaCam, Swipe a Gang. We out.